This was an intriguing comment, and I decided that I wanted it to go onto YouTube. My response to go onto YouTube, because this is an interesting thing. You like to try to gatekeep Christ from me. The concept of gatekeeping is the idea of an internal fandom or fan denying access to that internal fandom to someone outside for arbitrary reasons. So a good example is I am a member. I play the Assassin. I'm a gamer, and I play the Assassin's Creed series. People will gatekeep Assassin's Creed by saying, "Oh, you didn't play the games. You didn't play the games when they came out, and so you can't comment on them now." So there will be people who be like, "It's fine to have women. It's fine to have people," because of course people like you like to complain that you know non-straight white men are getting jobs, and call it woke, which I've heard about every single Assassin's Creed since freaking, I want to say Syndicate. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is that those people are gatekeeping. They are people claiming that they are the superior fan, and so they're denying access. They think they're denying access to the Assassin's Creed fandom to those people, especially on the grounds of those people being women or people of color or LGBTQ people who are coming forth and saying, "Hey, it's really awesome that we have representation in video games finally." And of course, for some reason, straight white men have just can't stand that. It's absolutely meltdown time. That's gatekeeping. I'm not a Christian. I don't pretend to be a Christian. If I was a Christian, and I was saying that you and your type of Christianity are excluded from knowing God or heaven, or that would be gatekeeping. That's what Christians do all the time. Anyways, that's what they do actually practice, right? I mean, they're ecumenicalism is a funny thing to me, because the idea that the different churches can work together is actually kind of silly, because the churches wouldn't be split if it wasn't for gatekeeping. Like, legitimately, the Catholics were sitting there, and there were some other people, and the Catholics were legitimately like, "Oh my God, we're gatekeeping you out of heaven so hard that you have to form your own separate branch of Christianity," and that just happened successively. Anyways, but that's not the point. The point is, I'm not gatekeeping Christ. What I'm doing when I send you a comment and I tell you that you need to respond to me is, I am a scholar. I am aware of the historical context of the Bible. I am aware of the cultural context of the Bible. I'm aware of what the book is supposed to be. I am aware of the history of the religion. I'm aware of the way that it interacted with other religions. I'm aware of what Jesus said and what he meant. My request from you is, I'm not denying you access to Christianity. My request to you is somehow to explain to me how you're supporting a far-right white nationalist fascist while claiming to follow Christ. Because those two things are contradictions, and that's not gatekeeping, that's just a simple fact. Jesus enumerates who's going to hell. He says exactly who he will send to hell. It's maggots. Like, he lists exactly maggots as the people who are going to hell. So that's not me gatekeeping. Christ is gatekeeping you. I'm sorry. I apologize that you don't like the concept of Christ as it exists actually in the Bible versus what evangelicals have made out of it. Now, as for the second part, you godless heathen. First off, I use that word as a joke sometimes, and it's funny that you've reused it against me, because I find it really funny that very rarely can the far right actually come up with their own insults. They have to parrot other insults. I noticed it when Don Trump Jr.'s boy, or Don Trump Jr. himself, said that America was now a third world country because justice was being served against the far right fascist dictator, and for months, that is all I could tell when a maggot was speaking, because I could be at the store and I would hear third world country, and I would be like, "Oh, yeah, it's maggots," because they're like no original thoughts whatsoever. And I called myself a godless heathen, and then you turned it around back on me, and I just think that's hilarious, because the only reason that I use it is as a joke is because personally, like, I don't really like to get into my religious beliefs too deeply, because I don't allow it to impact how I interact with the world. Reality is reality. Like, science explains the world for us. We know this. If there is anything, that being or those beings gave us this planet exactly as it is, gave us this universe as it is. So you either accept that reality, or you put yourself in opposition to that reality for the sake of subjective interpretation of the Bible. But in any case, I'm not godless, actually. I do have a belief in something beyond, to be sure. But the point is, why would you call me a godless heathen if I know your religion better than you? Isn't that so humiliating? A random godless heathen, an atheist or a deist or whatever however I classify myself, it actually doesn't have any import to the conversation at all. But like, wouldn't that be embarrassing? Wouldn't you rather have me be a Christian, like a Catholic or something, being like, hey, as a fellow brother in Christ, let me tell you why. Isn't it so humiliating that someone outside the faith knows more?